There's a mistake from Abubakar, and Joao Klaus out in the open. He goes for a dive, looking for a penalty, and he's going to pick up.
This is too bad.
Wow.
This is unfortunate because it is so easy to see. Clody went down. Klaus just dragged his feet, jumped over him.
Klaus not even trying to shoot at an open net.
Well, now we're going to talk about somebody that you probably haven't heard of.
Jacob Jackson is getting warmed up, and he'll enter this game if this isn't overturned.
Opportunity comes when it comes. You know, you just always have to be ready for it. I have my own opinions about the red card, whether if it is red or not. Again, I have no control over that. You know, but at that time it was just get ready for the game and do everything I can to help the team win or get as many points as we can on the road. You know, St. Louis is a good team, you know, and it's a tough stadium, tons of fans there. So it did feel like our backs were against the wall, but luckily we were able to get a point and continue fighting for, you know, that playoff spot.
As Jake Jackson enters the game, making his FC Dallas debut and not in the circumstances he would have hoped. Dallas will play with 10 men for 70-plus minutes here at Energizer Park tonight.
I think Drew said, set up the wall and good luck and just go do your thing. I think Coach was just sitting there just like, what's going on? And he's figuring out his stuff. There was just a lot going on, you know, and I think that's just kind of how it goes.
Nice ball through the lines, finds Hartle, closed down by Urguide inside the 18. Hartle sets it back now for Durkin. Durkin over to Betcher, first time shot, palmed away by a diving Jake Jackson. 3rd minute, here's a ball in behind for Vollum. Low cross towards the near post, Betcher, and now Jackson throwing a body at it, covers it up well. Inside the 18, and his ball towards the back post, punched away by Jackson.
Luckily Jackson's there.
And that will do it here in the first half. The Dallas Burn all square at Energizer Park.
It was fun. Like I said, it's been a while since I played. You know, we had 2 good goalkeepers in San Diego with CJ and Pablo. And then here, of course, you have Martin Boz and Michael Collodi. They're 2 unbelievable goalkeepers. So, you know, I just try to follow what they do. You know, you see it day in and day out. It's a group effort with the goalkeeper group. You know, and I just wanted to make them proud, coaches proud, parents proud, et cetera. And, you know, it was just, you take the moment and the chance and just have fun with it. And that's the biggest thing, you know. No one gets into playing soccer to just play for a job. We're all trying to have fun, you know, and it was just fun to get back on the field and play for something, and I think it showed, and hopefully I can show it again if my number's called.
And Joao Klaus going up over the top of the Dallas player. It's still bouncing around to the 18. Jackson made a good save in there. Now Klaus.
The big right hand out there stuck it out. Just kept that ball from going in before it trickled over that line.
Up in the air, Musa wins the second header. Now Padelford through traffic, and Jackson nearly wrong-footed, palms it over. The Dallas reserve goalkeeper standing on his head a little bit to start the second half.
Like I said, it's just a fun experience, you know. Competition's tough, and we challenge each other, which is the best thing you can ask for. Because like I said, when it's whoever's name's called, you know they're gonna have a lights out performance, and you can only sit there and watch and be happy for the guy. If he's playing, if you're on the bench, etc. It is a tight-knit group, and that's the best part about it. You know, we stick together through the good times and the hard times.
And that's it.
Well, 70-plus minutes down a man, and Dallas avoid defeat, make it 4 unbeaten. Huge credit to Jake Jackson making his FC Dallas debut.
I was a fan like everybody, you know, probably back home, and just watching, you know, a guy step up cold off the bench and get, you know, thrown in the game down a man, and he just, I mean, he stood on his head. He stood on his head, and I think you see he's played games in this league. It's not like and you can see his quality, and I'm just really proud of him, because I know that's not easy, to come in cold and come into a place like this, like the environment that the stadium is, and the electricity that goes on, and that's not easy to take 30 shots and come up as many times as he did. And he deserves it. He's come in here, been a great teammate so far, and adapted to our environment. And the guys love him, and it's just a way for him to sort of, I think, you know, feel like he just contributed for the first time in match format at the highest level, and just may have salvaged us a point that if we look back and things go certain ways, it may be the point of the year.
So I actually started playing when I was 3 years old. I got involved in indoor soccer, and the story goes, the coach basically had another colored jersey and was like, "Who wants to play in goal?" And that was me. To be honest, I've always been a goalkeeper. Never wanted to play the field, never wanted to. I like to believe I just didn't want to run, or I just wanted to kind of goof around. And luckily it worked out. I couldn't ask for anything else in life. I've always wanted to be a professional soccer player, and luckily I'm living that dream. So as long as I can continue living that dream, that's all I can ask for, and all I can keep working towards. Sporting director for San Diego reached out to me during one of our Leagues Cup games right before we were walking in, and was like, "Hey, thank you for your time here. Thank you for your service. We've engaged with the trade for FC Dallas." And with that, we were able to get everything done, and both teams agreed on the correct agreements. And then they were like, "Congratulations, this is a step for you, and we're happy that you get to go somewhere else and show your talents." And I can't thank it enough to the people in San Diego. That is my hometown. It was fun to be a part of something special there. Part of course, an expansion team is always a special feat, but that's pretty much how it went. And then luckily I got a call from Sean McGinty, our admin, Tanner, Eric Quill, and then Drew, and they were just say, "Welcome to Dallas," and then can't wait to have you. And then all of a sudden I'm on a plane to Dallas. Like I said, hopefully I just keep going as long as it keeps taking me somewhere. I'll keep playing, and that's all I can hope for. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's kind of always the thing I wanted to do, and I don't want it to stop anytime soon. So as long as we keep moving day by day, month by month, year by year, we'll just see how long it goes, and hopefully 2035 is the year I retire, or 2040, you know what I mean? So that sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but you know what I mean? Like, hopefully that's just what happens, and that's pretty much the long-term goal. In terms of the long-term goal at Dallas is just to stay here as long as possible. Like I said, Dallas is one of the top cities. I'm settled in really well now. Love the people in Dallas, love the people in Texas. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what the long-term goal is, just to stay here and help this team win.